Welcome to Technia TV. Hello, I am Dr. Sandeep Kumar. Today, I am discussing the non-probability sampling. If there is no such idea of probability, then the method of sampling is known as non-probability sampling. There are certain characteristics of non-probability sampling. First one, there is no idea of population in non-probability sampling. Second one, in non-probability sampling, probability is not associated with an individual being selected. The third one, source list is not used in non-probability sampling. The next one, the observations of non-probability samples are not used for generalization purpose. The next, non-parametric or non-inferential tests are used in non-probability sample. Also, risk is not associated in drawing conclusions from non-probability sample. And the last one, nothing definite can be said about the representativeness of non-probability sample. Now, I am discussing the convenience sampling. In convenience sampling, the researcher has the freedom of selecting any respondent based on his convenience. The term convenience applied to those samples that are taken because they are most frequently available. That is, this refers to the groups which are used as samples of a population because they are readily available or because the researcher is unable to employ more acceptable sampling methods. Respondents become a part of the sample because they happen to be at right place and at a right time. It is an economical method of sampling and is generally used in the exploratory phase of research project. The advantages of this method is it is a very simple method of sampling. Second one, it is frequently used in behavioral sciences. Third one, sampling units in convenience samples are cooperative, easily accessible and reachable. And the last one, it is an economical method. The disadvantages of this method is, first one, convenience sampling techniques lack in proper representations of population. Second one, it is not free from bias. Third one, in convenience sampling, parametric statistics cannot be used. Now, the second type of non-probability sampling technique is purposive sampling. The purposive sampling is selected by some arbitrary subjective method because it is known to be representative of the total population, or it is known that it will produce well-matched group. The idea is to pick out the sample in relation to some criteria which is considered important for the particular study. This method is appropriate when the study puts a special emphasis upon the control of certain specific variables. The advantages of this method is, in purposive sampling, researchers use the best available knowledge concerning the sample subjects. Second one, there is better control of significant variables in purposive sampling. And the third one, in this method, sample groups data can be easily matched. And the last one, homogeneity of subject used in the sample. The disadvantages of these methods are, first one, in purposive sampling, reliability of the criteria is questionable. Second one, knowledge of population is important in case of purposive sampling techniques. Third one, in this method, errors may introduce in classifying sampling subjects. Fourth one, inability to utilize the inferential parametric statistics. And the last one, inability to make generalization concerning total populations. The third techniques of non-probability sampling is judgment sampling. It is a purposive sampling where those respondents are deliberately made a part of the sample by virtue of their positions, knowledge or any other criteria which meet research purpose based on researchers' own judgment. It involves the selection of a group from the populations on the basis of available information. It is to be representative of the total population. In this method, the group may also selected by intuitions on the basis of criteria deemed to be self-evident. This method is particularly suitable when only a limited number of people have access to the knowledge or information required for the research. These sampling techniques does not allow generalization to a specific population since it does not represent a population explicitly. The advantages of this method is: first one, knowledge of the investigator can be tested using in this technique of sampling. Second one, judgment sampling is an economical technique. Disadvantages of this technique is: first one, judgment sampling is an economical technique. Second one, it is not free from bias. Third one, it includes uncontrolled variations. And the last one, in this techniques, generalization is not possible as inferential statistics cannot be used for the observations of this sampling. Now, the next type of non-probability sampling technique is quota sampling. In quota sampling, groups are created which are homogeneous within and a quota is fixed for each group. This technique is used when a researcher needs certain groups to be adequately represented. In this quota samplings, groups are created which are homogeneous with respect to certain characteristics within the group. A quota is fixed for each group and a sample units are drawn from the group. It is similar to a stratified sampling except for the fact no source list is used and sample units are drawn on convenience basis. In this method, researcher tries ensure that the composition of sample is the same as the composition of the population with respect to the characteristics of the concerned research. Now, there are certain advantages of this method. First one, quota sampling is an easy sampling technique. Second one, it is most frequently used in social survey. Now there is also certain disadvantages. First one, quota sampling is not representative sample. Second one, it is not free from error. And the third one, it has the influence of regional, geographical and social factors. Now I am discussing the another techniques of non-probability sampling, that is snowball, that is chain or referral sampling. In a snowball sampling, a set of respondents are selected initially and interviewed, and they further recommend the names of the other people. That is, in this technique, existing respondents recruit future subjects from among their acquaintances. Thus, the sample group appears to grow like a rolling snowball. As the sample builds up, enough data is gathered to be useful for research. This sampling technique is often used in hidden populations which are difficult for researchers to access. It is also known as chain or referral sampling. There are certain advantages of this method. First one, it is possible for the researcher to include people in the survey that they would not have known. Second one, there is no source list or other obvious sources for locating members of the population of specific interests. There are certain disadvantages of this method. First one, the first participants will have a strong impact on the sample. Snowball sampling is inexact and can produce varied and inaccurate results. The second disadvantage is snowball sampling contradicts many of the assumptions supporting conventional notions of random selection and representativeness. Third one, there is no way to know the total size of the overall population. And the last one, in a snowball sampling, there is the lack of definite knowledge as to whether or not the sample is an accurate reading of the target population. By targeting only a few select people, it is not always indicative of the actual trends within the result group. That is culminations of my lectures on non-probability techniques. Thanks, and watch Technia TV for another series of lectures on research methodology.